Donald Trump now has until next Friday, August 25th, to turn himself in after being indicted in Georgia. The former president and 18 others were indicted by a grand jury in Fulton County. They are accused of trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election, which Trump lost to Joe Biden. The sheriff says Trump is expected to surrender at the Fulton County Jail, but it's unclear when that's going to happen. It is the fourth overall indictment for Trump, and like the previous indictment tied to election interference, this one has connections to Wisconsin. New at 10, Caroline Dade is breaking down what the indictment has to say about the efforts in the Badger State.
Brandon, in a 98-page indictment focusing on crimes prosecutors allege happened in Georgia, you'll find 13 mentions of Wisconsin. They all center around the scheme to have fake electors cast electoral votes for Donald Trump, even though Joe Biden received the most votes in Wisconsin. Georgia prosecutors' indictment of former President Donald Trump and 18 others includes 2 mentions of the current chair of the Republican Party of Wisconsin, Brian Schimming. The indictment says Schimming knew about the plan to use fake electors in Wisconsin and met with Kenneth Chesebro, a pro-Trump lawyer, and Rudy Giuliani on December 12, 2020 to talk about the meeting the fake electors would have 2 days later. After ignoring reporter questions about the indictment Tuesday morning, the Republican Party of Wisconsin released this statement attributed to Schimming around noon. He says the fake electors met to preserve all legal options pending before the courts. But the Wisconsin Supreme Court rejected the Trump campaign's challenge to the 2020 election results about an hour before Wisconsin's electors, both legitimate and fake, cast their votes. Though the Georgia indictment charges some of that state's fake electors, Wisconsin prosecutors haven't done the same. And Charles Franklin, the director of the Marquette Law School poll, says there's no guarantee they will.
There can be real differences in state laws that make these cases easier or harder to proceed on. And I think we have to think those are state-by-state decisions.
But Franklin says so far voters seem to be paying a lot of attention to the indictments of the former president, and that could play a big role in a state known for its close elections.
Every little bit can potentially tip Wisconsin. So it really comes back to this group of independents who may be as little as 10% of the electorate.
Franklin says it's important to remember we've still got more than 14 months until the general election. A lot will happen in that time, so he says it's too early to say if one single event, like the most recent indictment, will be the thing that tips voters one way or the other.
Caroline, thank you.